Hello, I'm Carol from the Design Business Council, and I'd like to share some insights that we've found from a survey. It's a survey that is done every year. It's been done every year since 2018 by a PR company in the UK called Up to the Light. So, Up to the Light have 100 agencies and studios in the UK who commission them every year to talk to their clients to monitor the health of the client-agency relationship. So this year, they interviewed 675 clients from a variety of industries, from food to beverage to transport, health, government, education, really wide variety, 675 clients. And the clients were everything from brand managers and marketing managers through to CEOs. It was anyone who dealt directly with the agency and the studio. And the agency and studios were differing in size. They were as small as 5 people through to as large as 100 people. So we've got a really good cross-section of agencies, a really nice mixture of clients, job descriptions, and a really nice range of industries. And that's what makes this survey, this research really, really interesting. So here's 7 insights that we've found. The first one is the elephant in the room, and it's artificial intelligence. So 89% of clients said AI offers a huge potential, 89%. They said that they thought that it would offer improved personalization, improved return on investment, and better predictability of purchase preferences. And more interesting than that, 80% said they're actually not doing it in-house. They don't have the personnel in-house, they don't have the skills, and they're unsure how it fits their overall strategy. That said, they want to do it in-house. 74% expected their agencies to be able to use AI to speed up the creative options and processes and to save them money. So we don't have any choice. This is our take-home points. We don't have any choice. The clients are embracing AI, and so we must as well. But realistically, designers have been using AI. Anyone using the Adobe suite is using AI. There's AI right throughout all of those. So I would just let the client know you are using AI and research how it can be used to save you time. So you've got more time to do the strategy and the creative side of it. It doesn't take long to do a Google search or have a look on LinkedIn. There's some great tips on how copywriters are using it so they're not starting with a clean sheet of paper, or brand designers are using it to do the brand audit right at the very beginning. So don't put your head in the sand, talk AI with clients and be confident that you actually are already using AI. And it is a tool we can use to save us time. We need to let them know that that time saving looks like it's saving the money. The second one is knowledge. So clients are busy. They said they're too busy to monitor competitors and market trends, but they know they do need to monitor competitors and market trends. 86% are working in smaller teams with smaller budgets, and they're trying to do more with less. Their way of doing more with less is to use designers to understand the industry segment and to share insights about competitors and market trends. They know they need more information about their competitors. They know they need more information about market trends, and they're turning to their designers to find that information. On a tangent, 80% of clients said the best new business meeting felt like a discussion, that they love to sit down, have a coffee with a designer and talk industry trends and talk competitors. When asked what makes a great cold call approach, clients didn't want to see a folio. They didn't want to see credentials pitch. They said they can see that on the website. What they wanted was a conversation about a strategic issue they might be facing, a challenge that they might be facing. Could be specific to their industry, could be global, but they wanted insights. The second thing they really wanted from a cold call or a new business pitch was to show that the designer understood the market and the consumer landscape. So they knew stuff. They just knew stuff. They could save the client time. And that's the take-home point. In the same way, what makes a really bad cold call approach? A generic presentation. So many clients said they were just bored. They actually gave the client gave the designer time to sit down with them. And when they did sit down and they got a credentials pitch that was broad, that they could have just gone to the website. And that was their number one pain point, talking to designers and agencies, generic presentations. You hadn't gone to the trouble to do some research, find out a little bit about their industry, find out a little bit about their challenges. So the take-home point for this was everyone's time is precious. Clients want information that will save them time and help them do their job better. And if you've got that information, clients will make time for you. But you need to be clear that you've got some insights that you think that will you'd like to share with them. Third insight is about the environment. 87% of clients agreed sustainability is a must, not a trend. 10 years ago, only 6% thought environmental, social, and governance was important. So that is a huge shift. And better than that, they're worried that they'll be accused of greenwashing. So they know sustainability is important, but they know it needs to be done really well. So the take-home point is we already know they don't have time to keep up with the industry trends. We know that they're hungry for research. We know that they're looking at designers. We know that they want to not just look, but be sustainable. There's your new business pitch. A little bit of research about your clients, their industries, and their pain points. And I think you've got the makings for a really interesting coffee catch-up. The next one is creativity. Now, you think this is the crux of what we do. And 95% of clients agreed. Great creativity has the power to move a brand forward. But interestingly, just over a third said they don't really want it's only a third, that they want their agency to push the boundaries. 89% believe creativity is not just limited to actually designing and being creative. It comes from data analysis, it comes from insights from market research, it comes from collaborating with people, it comes from influencers, it comes from creators, it could come from the marketing team, could come from the strategist, could come from the account service person. So it's not just from the designer. So here's what we know. That first slide, there's a chasm between, yep, I know we need to be really creative and I don't want to be pushed too far. So that first conversation is, what is edgy? What do you see as being pushed too far? What do you see as creativity? Like how far, managing expectations, how far do you want me to push this? Show me something you think is really creative. The second one is important for small businesses because small studios have often used the adage, you get to speak to the designer. There won't be anyone in between us. This is the first time in the last 6 years of surveys that we've heard that speaking to the designer is no longer a magnet, that clients recognize data and research is a creative tool. So, I think that's important to keep in mind. The next point is about diversity, and this is brand new. 76% of clients said diversity in their agency team was important. They're trying to talk to a multicultural world, and they know having a multicultural team talk to a multicultural world makes good sense. They didn't know that in 2014, or they didn't say it. So 10 years on, 76% are saying, 76, 77, let's say 76.5% are saying, we want our team, a design team, to be multicultural. Now, this is gold for women, people of diverse backgrounds, minority groups. If you are one of those, push it. If you've got one of the designers we were talking to has got a multicultural team but never says anything, I would be putting it on the website. I would be embracing the culture and using it as a selling point against those who don't have that aspect. It's important. Okay, let's talk about size. There's been a lot of discussion about whether bigger is better. Post-COVID, a lot of studios have shrunk in size. So how do they continue to compete against the large studios? So here's 5 reasons why clients would not use a small studio. Account management. They thought if they got a larger project management is important, managing the account is important, and a small studio wouldn't have that, literally the resources to do it. They thought that there's not enough capacity and resources to swell with a large studio. They thought a bigger agency had a bigger talent pool and a smaller agency just has a smaller network. And interestingly, they were worried about stability. They thought that they weren't positive a smaller studio would be around in 2 years. So they needed to know that you were not going to go off and get a job, that you weren't a freelancer just taking on a few clients to fill a gap, that you were a stable business. In the same reason, here's why they would use a small studio, because a small studio is more agile and flexible. They found the larger studios like ocean liners and they weren't flexible. And sometimes a client had to fit in with how the studio worked and not the other way around. They thought small studios were more compassionate and they were more committed. And that's because they had skin in the game and they could see that. They liked small studios being less corporate and more friendly. And interestingly, the stability part is that in an agency, the account service person often changed, or they started with the account service, then they moved on to the strategist, and then they might see the CD. They didn't find there was stability in their contacts, and they didn't like that. And a number of clients liked that a small studio was edgy and they're less safe and predictable, that many of the larger agencies rolled out the same kind of things that they rolled out to every client. They had an agency look and feel, and clients didn't like that. So the take-home point is use case studies. Use case studies to prove that you do have the knowledge, you do have the network to build fit-for-purpose businesses. That a fit-for-purpose business is, businesses all around the world are lean and mean now. That is fit for purpose. And that you can swell because you do have a network for a larger job, or you can shrink, and that's really cost effective for clients. My argument with the large businesses I always used is, they've got a lot of people, but they often use next cab off the rank personnel rather than the right person for the right job. And that's the value of having a small team where you can pluck and choose freelancers who are perfect for that job. Use a case study to prove sustainability. You've been around for a long time. These are the kind of clients you've dealt with. These are kind of the work. And we know that clients want to see market research. They want to see case studies. They want to see insights into the industry. That's where you can use them and double up to say, yes, I've been working on this, or I've been following this trend for a number of years. And prove project management skills, not just creativity skills. Don't take it that clients actually know that you can do it. Spell it out that you can do it. The last one is new business. This is my recipe for getting new business. Times are really tough at the moment. Here's some good news about new business. 95% of clients with an in-house team see the value of collaborating with an external agency. So even if you're competing with an in-house team, this is proof, 95%. It's proof that some of the in-house teams, some of the creative leaders of an in-house team like to get in a fresh perspective for a bigger project or more strategic projects. So that the work is not lost. It might be just more spasmodic, but it's not lost. 49% of clients said their agency meets and sometimes exceeds their expectations. So 50% of clients don't love their agency, so they're always open to new ideas, especially if someone comes along with new insights about their industry new insights about research. 45% said they actually don't know. They don't know what other work the client does. So we all know that we get pigeonholed. We get pigeonholed and we forget to get out of that hole. And I know that because 2.3 years is the gap the average client has between seeing their incumbent's folio. So I don't know about you, but in the last 2 years of working with a client, I thought I'd done the best work ever. So if a client hasn't seen what you've been doing for others for 2 years, they're just going to assume the only work you do is the work you do for them. That's how you get pigeonholed. So working out a way of showing your clients what you're doing with others, and it could be those case studies. It could be, this is what I've done. This is the research I found. This is the insights I got from this. Might not be the same industry, but an aligned industry. This is the insights I got from doing this job with them. Could be an EDM, could be some snail mail, new information. Interestingly, 79% of clients believe the best way to source a new design partner was via recommendation. And 54% said they'd recommend their agency unreservedly. You know, that's as opposed to, yeah, with a caveat, but they'd recommend. Just that none of us ever ask. Love working with you. Do you have any other colleagues that you think might benefit from my skill set? It's not a hard ask. So to wrap all of this up, I think all of these insights show that research is the way to a client's heart, that it helps them, anything that helps them do their job better and do their job easier because they're working in smaller teams with less resources and less budget. So if you make yourself invaluable, they will see you as a crucial part of their team. And it's not creativity, credentials, folios thereafter. It is about insights and research and evidence-based data. Hope you found it valuable. If you did, I'd love you to jump onto our website, designbusinesscouncil.com, and subscribe to our weekly article. This is exactly the kind of information we share weekly, 10 o'clock of a Wednesday morning, Australian Eastern Standard Time. You'll get an article in your inbox, exactly this type of information about the business of design, insights that we've found, and we're doing this. You're our clients, so we're out there finding research and insights will help you do your job better.